Hello everyone, I hope you're having a great day today. Merciless Vaughn here, back with another Bleach Brave Souls video, and in this one we're going to be talking about whether you should summon or skip on the first Battle Deception Crown Summons banner coming out in less than 24 hours. Hopefully you enjoy. If you do, leave a like. If you're new to the channel, you have been here for a while, please consider subscribing and help me get to 500 subscribers. Now with all that said, let us go ahead and get started. So first things first to note about this banner is that it's only a 2-character mid-month banner. So there is that. 3 banner units are obviously better than 2. Again, he's just basically a guild quest unit here. He gets flurry +2 in guild quest. Outside of that, it's only flurry +1. So in my opinion, unless you're somebody that takes guild quest very seriously, even though if you do take guild quest seriously and you want to pull for this again, I really wouldn't recommend it because there's so many other guild quest characters. I mean, if you just so happen to need like what is he? He's a melee nad unit for the Captain Melee Weekly Guild Quest. I mean, you can go for him, but I'm pretty sure there's going to be better options. But other than that, yeah, only flurry +2. He does have this slow reaper damage stats on affected enemies 30%. This is usually 40%, so it's kind of on the lower side. And he obviously does have his increased damage and killer effect in guild quest. He's immune to the palace status element, and his bruiser is 50%. Does have poison and guard break. So there's that. But again, the Toshiro, I say he's probably the more valuable unit out of the 2. He's a range SP unit. As you can see, he has a Soldier strong side damage +35%, and he has a super technically shot potions +10 skill, which is very great if you're farming in co-op IT. That'll be great to have. He has the Ranker Killer. He has guard break plus hit enemies. Let me see, his devastation is 60%. His berserker is on the little lower side, I think, at 40%. He does have frenzy +2, which is great. That should really be the norm nowadays. He does have the increased status element chance against technique attribute enemies, status element spiritual pressure boost, and damage to enemies. Frozen enemies 40%. So this Toshiro, I say he's a pretty solid unit. This would be like a top tier unit. This was a couple of years ago, but now with the little bit of power creep that we've been getting from the characters, this is just pretty much kind of like the baseline of how units should be. That's just my personal opinion though. And so there is that for the Toshiro. It is a 26 step up banner. At steps 3, 13, 16, you are guaranteed 1 5-star character. Steps 10 and 20, you're guaranteed 1 new 5-star character. And like always, at steps 25, you get to choose a new character ticket. So really, if you do something on this banner, I would only kind of recommend going to step 10. That's only a couple thousand orbs if you really want to summon on this banner, but yeah. We have the banner itself, the 2 new units. Obviously, we have some premium units and we have some seasonal units in here. I said it in the last video, but I'd say because of the seasonal units being in here, this banner is a lot better than the end of year banner that we got, because this Yumichika is still great. Sun, she's pretty decent. Again, and Rukia that are in here, and they're pretty okay. I don't have this Ikaku, so I can't really say too much about him. This Ichigo is still pretty decent. And Holly Bell, she's old, but she has a lot of full stamina damage boost abilities, so at full stamina she'll be pretty decent. So we can just kind of go ahead and go through these characters very quickly. Alright, so the first featured unit is this Joshiro here. He's a power unit with the Hollow Killer, Soul Trader's coin drop +30%. If you need coins for whatever reason, yeah, there he is. Range unit, last rate on all of his attacks except his SA2. It does have the barrier. NA skill, sprinter, stamina recovery, and havoc both at 20%. He has a berserker of 60%, reduce strong attack cooldown 12%, frenzy +2, increased power attribute character strong attack damage 20%, damage to last rated enemies 60%, ulti barrier +2, and guard break. Yeah, just a typical mid-month banner unit, nothing too spectacular about him. Up next is this Soifon here. She's a technique unit with the Human Killer, Soul Trade strong attack recharge time -14%. And just to go over some most notable things about this unit, she's a melee damage with paralysis on all of her attacks. Her SA3 is a status element trap mechanic, and she also has a chance to insta-kill on her soul bomb. She's immune to the paralysis status element, and at full stamina only, she has a reduced strong attack cooldown of 60%. Pretty good. 60% Berserker, 40% Devastation. Full stamina only, increased strong attack damage 40%. Frenzy is only at +1, unfortunately. Increased technique attribute character strong attack damage 20%. Increased technique attribute solar damage to status element affected enemies 40%. Damage to paralyzed enemies 40%. And guard break. So yeah, just a pretty decent mid-month unit. If you inflict a status element, you'll be able to dish out a lot of damage pretty much. Up next, we have Aizen Mind attribute unit with the Ranker Killer. Solo trait is special move damage plus 40%. Melee unit, weakening on all of his attacks, full stamina only, and he has an increased strong attack damage of 40%. 20% stamina recovery. Devastation is 100%. So that's basically, I think, kind of bombardment. Bombardment is just basically 100% devastation, I think it is. Reduce strong attack cooldown 12%. Full stamina damage boost 20%. Havoc Frenzy is only at +1, unfortunately. Increased mind attribute character special move damage 30%. Damage to weakened enemies 40%. Weakened defense. Guard break plus hit hidden enemies, and the status element spiritual pressure boost. So yeah, overall, as you can see just from his skills, he's meant to do a lot of damage with his soul bomb, and that he will do, especially at full stem and even with the status element spiritual pressure boost. So if you would just want like a very strong soul bombing unit, yeah, that's what this Aizen is basically. Alright, and so here we have the Paracel Gin here, speed Soul Reaper Killer unit with a soul trait of strong attack recharge time minus 12%. A ranged unit, weakening on all of his attacks except his SA2, it does have a barrier on it. Innate skills, Sprinter +2, he reads all affiliation dodges and at full stamina only reduces strong attack cooldown 6%. Let's see, full stamina damage boost 20%, complete status immunity, full stamina only, increased strong attack damage 40%, Havoc 20%, Frenzy +2, increased status element chance against power attribute enemies, damage to weakened enemies 40%. Mostly barrier +2, sharpshooter, and he also has hidden enemies. And I don't see Berserker on here, unfortunately. So this is a unit that just doesn't have Berserker. I mean, you could say that this counts, but that's only when at full stamina. And it doesn't look like he has a way to heal either. So once you lose that full stam, you pretty much will lose Berserker. But anyway, that's the getting there. And then here we have the Rukia, who is a power Ranker Killer unit with a soul trait of strong attack recharge time minus 12%. Range unit with frost on all of her attacks except her SA2. It also does have a heal. Innate skills, Sprinter, Medic, and she's immune to the freeze status element. Power attribute, strong attack recharge 20%. Full stamina damage boost 20%. She has the Rampage skill. Havoc, Frenzy +2, Defibrillator +5 seconds. Increased status element chance against technique attribute enemies. Damage to frozen enemies 40%, sharpshooter, healer, and the status element spiritual pressure boost. So pretty decent unit really. She's not too bad. And so we have the Ikkaku. He's a mind unit with the human killer. Soul trait damage to enemies not affected by an element 30%. And so since he has that, he's not going to have any status elements on his attacks, and he is a melee unit with the innate skills of Sprinter. Long striding has a 50% chance to dodge human attacks. Berserker and Devastation are both at 60%. Increased Super Heart Link Slide Potions +5. Increased Heart Link Slide Potions +5. Increased Heart Droplet Drop 30%. Havoc, Frenzy +2. Guard Break, hit enemies, and Pierce Iron Skin. So yeah, it's a bit unfortunate that, you know, he only is going to have this at 30%. Usually it's 100%, and with the most recent resurrection, the 5th anniversary of Byakuya, this is even at 50%. So this being 30% is a bit on the lower side. But other than that, yeah, pretty okay unit. And here we have this Quincy Ichigo, a renewed version of the speed one that we already have, but he has the Hollow Inhuman Killers. 2 killers is always great. Soul trait, strong attack, recharge time minus 12%. Range unit, he has weakening and drain on all of his attacks. So a pretty good combination of status elements. Sprinter +2, Havoc, and full stamina damage boost 20% for the innate skills. A team/party technique attribute, strong attack, recharge 20%. He has a 40% Berserker and 20% Bruiser. Devastation 40%, Frenzy +2, increased status summon chance against speed attribute enemies, increased technique attribute character strong attack damage 20%, sharpshooter needs status summon spiritual pressure boost. And this unit is a couple years old now, but you know, he's still pretty decent, especially if you have a few dupes in him. So we have this Sun here, who is a Heart Captain Killer unit with a Soul Trait of Mind, Link Slot Potions +5. She is a melee unit with burn on all of her attacks, except her SA3 is a charged heal. Full stamina only increase strong attack damage 40% and a medic skill, so her heal will have increased effectiveness. Berserker and Devastation both have 40%, reduce strong attack cooldown 12%. Full stamina damage boost 20%. Havoc, Frenzy is only at +1. Increased melee damage 10%. Co-op quest increased melee damage 30%. Guard break plus hit enemies. So this is basically kind of an epic raid unit, you could say, really. I mean, the only time you really see captain is like if it's a epic raid where the boss is a captain, or maybe like some bosses in a co-op IT or Psychomon. But really, she's more of an epic raid because of this increased co-op quest skill right here. So yeah, there's that. Be a great farming unit, and also someone you can link up to as well. And here we have the Yumi Chica. I talk about this unit quite often when I kind of showcase power units because it is one of the strongest attributes in the game in my opinion. But power unit are ranker killer, strong attack, recharge time -12%. Range unit, no status elements. Havoc and stamina recovery 20%. Berserker and Devastation both at 60%. He has the increased power attribute character movement speed 30%, increased super link slot potions +5, increased technique link slot potions +5, increased technique droplet drop 30%, frenzy +1, increased power attribute character strong attack damage 20%, guard break, and plus pierced iron skin. So yeah, this is a very great support unit that you can use in even epic raids and co-op IT. You know, just he has some probably just the best increased resource drop skills right here, and he's also boosting your movement speed and increasing your strong attack damage by 30 and 20%. So yeah, pretty great support unit. Alright, and so we have this Holly Bell here for the last one. She is a Heart Soul Reaper Killer unit with a soul trait of damage inflicted at full stam 30%. She's a range unit with frost on all of her attacks. Full stam will only increase strong attack damage 40%. Sprinter, guard break, blitz hit enemies. Berserker and Devastation are at 40%. Full stamina damage boost, 30%, mentioned that already. Increased mind link slot potions +5. Frenzy is only at +1. Defibrillator +5 seconds and damage to frozen enemies. Yeah, she's very old at this point, but you know, she is a unit that you can use if you manage to keep her at full stam. Alright, so we talked about the two new mid-month units a bit more in detail, and we also went over the featured units. So is this banner worth summoning on? First, I'm just going to go ahead and say if any of these units are your favorite characters from the Bleach series and you would just like to have them, by all means go ahead and summon. They are your orbs. You do whatever you want with them. It's a game. Games are meant to be played to have fun, but other than that, I'm just going to go ahead and say skip this banner. Even though this Toshiro is good, this is just pretty much the bare minimum of what units should be nowadays. You know, minus the link slot potion skills that this unit have. But yeah, what like status summon, spiritual pressure boost, increased status summon chance, damage to whatever status summon they may have, frenzy +2, guard break plus hit enemies. This is just the bare minimum of what units should have nowadays, since we do have a little bit of power creep from the end of year banner that we recently got. This is, again, he's pretty much on the weaker side. This is like a unit that you would see maybe in, I guess you could say 2023, really. I mean, I don't know why we're still giving units flurry +1 and the max at +2, but anyways, yeah, that's that. But yeah, this is a skip, in my opinion. It's time to start saving up for the 10th anniversary, which is only 7 months away now. But, yeah, that's just it. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. Thank you for watching. And as usual, until next time.